Hey, welcome to Tech President TV. I'm Josh Levy. This was the week of innovations and debates, from the MTV MySpace dialogue with John Edwards to a different kind of debate, a silent debate with Harry Shearer.
Welcome to the second Internet silent debate, where the whole point is to gather presidential candidates to say nothing at all. Something I think a lot of people have trouble figuring out is whether China is a friend or an enemy. Okay.
I got this email today from somebody with a link to a YouTube video. I clicked on the link, watched the video, and gasped. Nelson Mandela is dead?
I thought an interesting comment was made when somebody said to me, I heard somebody say, where's Mandela? Well, Mandela's dead.
Dead?
Because Saddam Hussein killed all the Mandelas. He was a brutal tyrant that divided people up. And
I went back and rewatched the thing for the third time, and I realized that our president was not saying that Nelson Mandela is dead. He was comparing Nelson Mandela to dissidents in Iraq during Saddam Hussein's rule, and they were all killed by Saddam Hussein because he was a tyrant. And now there are no Nelson Mandela-like people in Iraq to help bring a peaceful solution to the problems going on in that country. It's obvious, isn't it? I mean, the first time I saw it, I totally knew what he was talking about.
Well, Mandela's dead.
Check out Elizabeth Edwards here, too.
There's something heartwarming about the kind of people who joined John's campaign, their spirit and their dedication to their communities. You see them working in all sorts of ways. Sometimes we put things off, don't we? We think we have all the time in the world. Well, we don't.
She's so good at being intimate and direct with the camera, and she speaks in these hushed tones, and everything seems so important.
Sometimes we can't wait. The people who live in poverty in this country, they can't wait for us to step up.
And now is the time to do that important thing that you need to do. Feed people at a shelter. Donate blood. Do whatever you can. She's pleading with you, and she's making you feel really guilty about yourself because you know she means it.
George Bush says the surge is working.
Bill Richardson's been occupying this middle tier in the Democratic race, and he hasn't really been able to break out of it. He got out of the lower tier, but now he's kind of stuck in this 10% range.
In Iraq.
I believe we should bring all the troops home with no residual forces. No residual forces.
I really love this ad. It places him in direct opposition to his opponents. He has a lot to say on this issue, and he has a lot of credibility, having been an ambassador to a whole lot of places that we don't want to go to and that aren't very friendly to our country.
Do you know why we vote on Tuesday?
No.
Do you happen to know why it is that we vote on Tuesdays?
Do you happen to know why we do vote on Tuesday?
No, I don't.
Do you know why we vote on Tuesday? Neither do I. That's one of the reasons why the Why Tuesday project was developed.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The United States, arguably the world's most famous democracy, ranks 139th out of 172 countries in the world in voter turnout. That's the bottom 20% of all countries in the entire world.
Just think of the language of it. The language of it is the people shall be secure. Let's see now. This is my wife calling, I think. Hello, dear.
Okay, does anybody really believe he's just spontaneously receiving these phone calls? We've heard reports that he gets these phone calls a lot at campaign appearances.
I love you, and I'll give you a call as soon as I'm finished, okay?
Let's talk about data for a minute. A couple of weeks ago, when Fred Thompson announced he was actually running for president, the blogosphere was abuzz. Since then, his numbers have totally leveled off, and in fact, they're lower than most of his opponents. Despite any early buzz that he got, he's not getting mentioned that much in the blogosphere these days. Guess where I was yesterday? That's right, Second Life, talking to Newt Gingrich about science fiction and 3D worlds and technology and how he's not running for president yet. But he might be running for president, and he just might be the first candidate who would have a serious presence in Second Life. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to film anything in Second Life because the software is unbelievably frustrating. But it was really cool to hear Newt Gingrich responding to people with avatar names like, in my case, Spencer Mukherjee, as if they were real people and giving them the respect that real people deserve. That's it for Tech President TV. Tune in next week. We'll have more commentary, more stats, more video, more Tech President.
And then there's the whole complicated matter of trade policy.